You're fresh off a heck of a finish in the Mile High City in Denver, the final time on the Speedway there, and you almost take home the hardware.
Yes,
right?
so close.
I know
so
that hurt.
Close. Yeah, definitely.
But tell me about, I mean, for those listening to this program who don't know the significance of where you just were, tell me what it means to be the last person to literally go down the strip at Bandimere.
Bittersweet. Obviously being in the final round was amazing, and I don't want to take away from that at all. But it is great to say that we were one of the last ones to go down the racetrack. The last pair of funny cars to go down Bandimere Speedway ever. And minus the hardware, we did have a great weekend. We had to fight for a few of those rounds. It got really slippery out there. It was so hot. It was like the hottest day. At one point, the top end of the track was about 140 degrees. They have a cooling system underneath the starting line, but at the top end, it's kind of, it's a free for all. So, I knew at some point I was going to have to pedal this beast, and I won one of the rounds that way. So that was pretty good. It showed some of my skills. Other than that, it was all Nikki and Dell, my crew chief and team. And we did good. We moved up.
I'll share a personal story. I've gone near that track at about 1 to 2 miles per hour because every Christmas they have a wonderful Christmas display right at the Speedway, and you kind of weave in and out of that. But again, I'm going a mile or two an hour. you're killing it.
Yeah, add a few to that.
So for those
you can hear it from way far away from that racetrack too, because it's Thunder Mountain. It's like carved into that side of that mountain right there underneath Red Rocks, and it's a beautiful facility. We're really going to miss it a lot, and the family is great too. The Bandimeres have been really into racing, and I mean they have sportsman stuff going on, out there, and then I think it's like run what you brung kind of stuff as well. So they've had a lot of great shows there, and a lot of people are going to miss it.
Before we get back to this interview, I want to say that this episode is brought to you by Connected by Reynolds & Reynolds. If you want to hear great conversations and Greg Ulan going deep with guests on everything from used car acquisitions to finding your niche and selling to it, I recommend adding Connected to your podcast rotation. Now let's get back to my interview.
For those who don't know, Alexis, compare that Speedway to something that's equally as iconic in another racing venue. Is that shutting down Daytona? Not quite. But
I wouldn't say Daytona. I would say I think just because of the uniqueness of it, it's a mile above sea level. We don't have any other racetrack that's that high above the sea level, and it just changes everything that you do up there. It changes your breathing for the drivers, changes the way the cars are set up. They don't make as much horsepower. They don't make as much downforce. The parachutes don't blossom as hard. There's just so many things that make it unique in that sense. It's a different setup. Our crew chiefs have a different setup for that track than any other track that we run. So it throws a curveball in your tune-ups and what you do out there. But it is unique in that sense that it's a mile above sea level, and you don't see that anywhere else.